Generating resources for protection from sexual exploitation and abuse, or PSEA, isn't just some secondary administrative task. It is a critical, absolutely non-negotiable operational requirement. In this explainer, we're breaking down exactly how leadership and field personnel can secure the staffing, the training, and the resources needed to actually protect the communities we serve. All right, let's dive right in. Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The operational trigger. 2. Why this matters. 3. Distinct responsibilities. 4. Required actions. And 5. Resources and a call to action. Section 1. The operational trigger. Picture this high-stakes scenario. A donor just approved a massive, rapid expansion of food, shelter, protection, and cash activities. Great news, right? But there's a major catch. The budget includes absolutely zero dedicated lines for PSEA coordination, translation, community materials, or victim assistance. Often teams operate under this incredibly dangerous assumption that these vital functions will just magically be absorbed into already overstretched workloads. So what actually happens when PCA is just kind of absorbed into existing workloads? Well, the system fails. Without a dedicated budget, essential training suddenly becomes optional. Those vital reporting channels, they're never actually communicated to the communities they're meant to protect. And ultimately, the entire action plan just sits there, completely unfunded and literally impossible to implement. Section 2, Why this matters. I want you to think about this quote for a second. A PSEA action plan without resources is a statement of intent, not a control system. That right there is the defining reality. Senior leaders have to make the business case that resourcing PSEA is about addressing severe strategic risk, because without dedicated funding, all we really have are good intentions, and that leaves our operations profoundly vulnerable. Look, when an unfunded mandate leaves training optional and community materials missing, we are dealing with massive operational vulnerability. But when we purposefully fund PSEA, the dynamic flips entirely. We generate safer access, we build much stronger trust with affected communities, we ensure reliable reporting, and we guarantee actual operational integrity. The takeaway here, funding PSEA is definitely not a luxury. It's a fundamental condition for responsible delivery. Section 3. Distinct responsibilities. Executive accountability has to be crystal clear. The resident coordinator, or RC, has to actively advocate for and prioritize adequate resources specifically to support complaint mechanisms and survivors. Then you have the humanitarian coordinator, the HC, who ensures that all humanitarian funding discussions explicitly include PSEA as an enabling condition for a safe response. And the head of mission? They have to guarantee field personnel have the exact support and resources necessary to carry out conduct and discipline activities. That's 3 distinct roles with absolutely zero overlapping confusion. Section 4. Required actions. To actually get this done right, execution has to be specific to your role. So we've separated these required actions into 3 clean tracks. Track A is for senior leadership, Track B is for PSEA focal points, and Track C is for project managers. Let's see exactly where you fit in. All right, Track A. This is for our senior leadership. If you're an RC, an HC, or a head of mission, your focus is squarely on strategic risk and executive accountability. You need to be routinely asking, what does this action plan actually cost? You have to critically assess the severe operational risks of leaving it unfunded and make that firm business case that dedicated resources are absolutely non-negotiable for responsible delivery. Moving on to Track B. This is for the PSEA focal points and coordinators. Your main focus? Technical compliance and documentation. You are the vital engine, translating these high-level action plans into practical line-item budgets. You need to meticulously cost out staffing time, training, and referral mapping. Why? Because you have to arm your senior leadership with concrete, costed options and an objective look at the risks associated with underfunding. And finally, Track C for project managers, field coordinators, and partner managers. Your reality is practical field implementation and risk reduction. You absolutely must include PSEA in your field budgets right from the design stage. It cannot be an afterthought, guys. You need to budget for community materials, safe feedback points, staff orientation, and the essential travel needed for critical risk checks right from day one. Now, regardless of which track you're on, here is your 5-point action checklist to finalize, fund, and maintain your plan. Number 1, cost the requirement. Identify those personnel, training, and assistance needs. Number 2, use evidence to connect those budget lines straight back to operational risks. Number 3, blend your funding sources. Utilize entity budgets, pooled funding, and cost sharing. Number 4, prioritize sustainability. You want to avoid one-off activities that don't have a long-term maintenance plan. And number 5, report value. Show donors exactly how this funding strengthens accountability, trust, and your overall program quality. Section 5. Resources and call to action. If you want to immediately implement these steps, there are some primary strategic templates leadership must reference. This includes the UN PSEA Practical Toolkit for Senior Leaders, the official UN PSEA Tools page, the IASC Country-Level Action Plan template, and the UN Protocol on the Provision of Assistance to Victims. Relying on these ensures your local action plans meet global institutional standards. Beyond strategy, we also have the technical toolkits that are crucial for field operations. The Interagency Risk Assessment Toolkits, both the standard and rapid versions, alongside the deployment package for PSEA coordinators and their generic terms of reference, are just indispensable resources. These are what focal points and project managers actually use to conduct risk checks and establish real on-the-ground coordination. So it all comes down to one absolutely critical question. Will you wait until an allegation exposes a missing budget line, or will you resource PSEA today? Remember, funding this is not some separate add-on. It is the fundamental condition that makes your delivery safe and responsible. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Go make sure your budgets truly reflect your commitment to protection.